Okay, so hi folks, we're here with the Jolla phone. So this is the final hardware of a bunch of ex-Nokia employees that took MeeGo and decided to create their own phone with a Sailfish OS, which is their own OS. So you may have seen a previous hardware tour we had before, the prototype. This is the final version. As you can see, it's quite square, boxy. The only thing that's different from the prototype we saw is the bezels on the top and bottom are a little bit smaller, and the camera was orientated on the right hand side of the back cover. It's now in the centre. You can check out all the specs in the actual post. We won't bore you with that stuff. Maybe just there's a 8 megapixel camera on the back, 2 megapixel camera on the front. Yeah, I mean, design-wise, it's pretty minimalist. There's the loudspeakers are on the bottom, funnily enough, dual loudspeakers there. I'm not sure if you would call them stereo. On the top, there's like a secondary mic, the headphone jack, and the micro USB connector. And just the buttons you've got are the power button and the volume rocker. You've also, this is what they call the other half, which is the back cover. Which you can take off. Under there you've got the micro SIM, micro SD slot, removable battery, and what's interesting is these connectors. So this connector, like open connector here, is for power. So if you can imagine an extended battery case on the back of there, and these connectors here are for general hardware interface, which is where I guess the inspiration of the other half bit comes in. So an example that Jolla's Mark Dillon used was perhaps an other half case with an integrated keyboard, and you know that would kind of work through these connectors. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with that in the future, both from what Jolla are developing, which they won't talk about, and third parties, which will get tools to kind of access that hardware connection soon. So yeah, I guess that's a phone. It's kind of solid, well built. We're not massive fans of how angular it is. It tends to kind of dig into the hand a little bit, especially this bottom corner when you're kind of holding it. But you know, that's up to taste, I guess. So moving on to the Sailfish OS, which again we've kind of seen that running on a developed device before, but this is, I guess, the final build. You can double tap to unlock the device. Oh, I've just, as I put on this other half, there's a little NFC chip in there as well, which you can use to set the ambience, which is what they call themes basically. But we'll just, okay, so that installed something different. And menu-wise, it's like linear top-down. So you start off with the lock screen. It's got notifications on there. We're not quite sure how you interact with those. But then after the lock screen, you come down, and this is the multitasking screen. So we've got a browser open here, and what you would, I guess, consider like a dock situation. And then you come up again, and it's the app menu, I guess. So this is very much gesture based. You won't find many buttons or anything. So let's go into the messaging app, for example. Now everything is done with gestures. So like if I wanted to scroll to the left, I'd put that in the kind of multitasking dock and go back in there. Also swiping in from the right puts it there. It doesn't actually go back unless you let go of it. You can peek. In every application or in any part of the phone, swiping up from the bottom gives you notifications and your like social media, quick access to social media notifications, that kind of stuff. And swiping down from the top closes the application. So again, you can just do a peek and come back, or you can close and then it removes it from the multitasking. And from this multitasking menu as well, certain gestures within apps will do things like do that and refresh, I guess, from that icon. I think that's what it means, yeah, refresh. And what happens there? I can add or search or whatever. So I can do that and close that. So that's kind of how you navigate around There's also put like a pulley menu system. So you go down, so like there, you go down new message, and actually that brings into this quite nicely. There's also some, within some applications and some settings, you'll see these kind of white orbs, which means that you can scroll back, and well, you can't scroll forward from there, but if I do new message again, it will do it. Yeah, you can kind of scroll back, so not every kind of swipe gesture brings you, you know, back to the multitasking screen or what have you. We're not massively sold on the software. I guess it's interesting they've tried to do something different, especially with this kind of top-down scrolling menu, and with all the gestures, you might think, okay, well, you kind of use it and it becomes second nature, and I'm sure it probably will become second nature if you use this quite a lot, but everything seems a little bit disjointed at the moment, and where they're trying to simplify things, they're perhaps making it a little bit more complicated. Just because if coming from platforms like iOS or Android or even Windows Phone, there's a certain kind of it just serves it up to you. It serves up the kind of, you know, if you get into settings, you can find it and stuff. Whereas this tends to hide things from you, and you need to find it out for yourself. This is very much, I guess, kind of a beta-y build. Obviously, this is kind of final consumer hardware and software, but they plan to regularly update it and you know, listen to feedback and stuff. So we'll see how it goes in the future. One interesting thing, which is the Android runtime. So you can run Android apps on this. Installed, you've got the Yandex store, which isn't a great store, but it's not like Google Play compliant, I would say. But we've got Firefox, for example, which is an Android app, and you can see the Android kind of how it works. We've also got Twitter is the Android version of Twitter. The actual Jolla app store is pretty slim at the moment, and as you can see, I mean, it works. It's just like laggy. It's just laggy at the moment. We'll see if they can improve on that, but it's quite interesting to see. So yeah, that's been our short time with the Jolla, you know, first device, and maybe we'll, you know, get an extended kind of look at it sometime soon. But thanks for watching, and all the deeper stuff is in the post, so check it out.